Good morning and good afternoon, everyone. I am starting today's roundtable with a very famous quote by Edward Deming. In God we trust, all others bring data. I, Dr. Loveleen Gaur, faculty in the area of IT and business analytics at IMT Center for Distance Learning, welcomes you all at the panel discussion on unleashing the power of data, innovation, and insights in business analytics. I welcome all the students, alumni, and esteemed guests gathered here today. Seeing such a diverse and enthusiastic group come together to delve into the captivating realm of innovations and insights in business analytics is genuinely exhilarating. In a world where information flows easily, its discussions are as critical as they are. The fusion of innovations and insights has emerged as a guiding light for businesses to navigate the ever-evolving landscape. Today, we stand at the precipice of the digital revolution, where data is not just abundant and a strategic asset that can transform industries, reshape markets, and redefine success. To our students, you represent the next generation of the trailblazers who will shape the future of business analytics. Your fresh perspective, unbridled curiosity, and thirst for knowledge drive the advancement, and that will undoubtedly propel us forward. And to our esteemed alumni, your presence reminds us that learning is a lifelong journey, and your experiences inspire those who follow your footsteps. Throughout our time together, we will embark on an accelerating journey and what we will going to take away. So we will going to uncover the latest technological breakthroughs that are revolutionizing how data is being collected, analyzed, and interpreted. We will also explore the art of extracting insight from the labyrinth of the information which is available to us. And we will witness the first-hand how these insights are turning businesses into visionaries able to predict the trend, preempt the challenges, and create unprecedented opportunities. But this is not a journey we will going to undertake alone. It is an interactive voyage and invitation to an exchange of ideas, challenge assumptions, and collectively dream about the future. So our discussions will be crucial where theory will going to meet the practice, innovative concepts collide with the real world application, and where your aspiration as student and the achievements of our alumni intertwine to forge new horizons. Before opening this panel of discussion, let me briefly revisit the background of our esteemed IMT CDL institution, which is now rightfully headed by an extraordinarily humble and dynamic personality, Professor Ashok Sharma. IMT CDL was established in 1986 to provide flexible and accessible management educations to many learners. It is a part of India's well-known Institute of Management Technology Group of Business Schools and is established to provide quality management education to working professionals, students, and individuals who cannot attend traditional classroom-based programs. It has been recognized for its contribution to distance education and ranked among India's top distance learning institutions. The faculty at IMT CDL consists of experienced professionals, industry experts, and academicians who will contribute to developing high-quality study materials and guide the students. IMT CDL emphasizes providing substantial support to its students. This includes academic guidance, counseling, and access to online resources that enhance the learning experience. It has a growing alumni network spans across the industries and sectors, contributing to the institution's reputation and reach. So we will have an enriching discussion on this particular topic that we are going to discuss today in this panel discussion. But before that, let me introduce our panelists. Our panel consists of experts from various fields, and I'm excited to hear their unique perspective on this topic. I hope this discussion will be insightful and thoughtful for both our panelists and audience members. So let me begin by introducing the panelists who are also our alumni of ITCDL. Our first industry guest is Mr. Santosh Subramanian, Director Transformation at Conducent Business Service Limited. a vibrant leader and has been in the IT industry for 21 years, played multiple different roles in IT and management. He was a developer, system analyst, application architect, enterprise architect, project and program management, and now as a transformational leader. He has a huge global team. He has actually led that and covering multiple geographical location, global delivery model in technology and management. His last 10 years involves primarily focus around customer communication management, automation like RPA, OCR, ICR, AI, ML, policy and claim administration for healthcare business, and expanded roles into demand supply management and financials for multiple business units. Welcome, Mr. Santosh. Our
Thank you,
second
Loveleen.
industry guest is Mr. Sumit Agarwal, data engineer, Fractal Analytics. He is an experienced data scientist skilled in Python 3, Scikit-learn, MATLAB as ARIMA and AWS host forecasting models. He is proficient in Tableau, ServiceNow, Power BI for impactful visualization. He's a versatile data engineering and business analytic professional, excelling in designing and optimizing data pipelines for seamless flow across diverse sources to robust analytical platforms. I welcome you, Mr. Sumit.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Loveleen.
Our third speaker today is Mr. Partha Mazumdar, well known, Vice President for Software Engineering in multinational bank. He has been developing computer software for 34 years as of 2023. And he has been involved with data sciences since 2012 and has written 2 books on this particular subject. Most recently, he's experimenting with programming using ChatGPT API. I welcome you, Mr. Partha, here.
Thank you, Dr. Loveleen.
So without much delay, let us embrace the spirit of curiosity and collaboration. Let us fuel our minds with knowledge and our heart with ambition. Let's dare to imagine the possibilities that innovations and insights in business analytics can unlock for us, our organization and world at large. So I'm starting this panel discussion with my first question to Mr. Santosh. Mr. Santosh, this is one question which I'm very sure that audience would like to know that how you are managing. So your question is, transformation often requires a change in mindset and processes. How do you lead and inspire your teams through these changes, especially when we are talking about new technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, RPA, business analytics? So how you are managing? You are being a transformation leader now. So I really want to know your views on that.
Thank you, Loveleen, for the question. And first of all, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all the folks in the call, depending on which part of the world you guys are joining from. It's a great question, Loveleen, and I will start with the popular saying, change is the only constant, right? Because if you see, we are living in a time period where change is happening really at the speed of light. From the way how innovation was happening 20, 25 years before to how things have changed in the last 10, 15 years. We talk about virtualization, you talk about cloud computing, you talk about advancements in artificial intelligence, machine learning. I still call that as a traditional AI. But then, because I just want to make the distinction, traditional AI, then you have conversational AI, where people are talking about chatbots, be it Google Dialogflow, Alexa skill set, Siri. You have a lot of conversational chatbots that have come into the industry. And now the last 1 year, people are primarily talking about generative AI, like the Chat GPT, DALI, and other products, which we are going to hear from the other speakers as well, right? But having said about all these things, how do you communicate these changes across the organization and bring everybody into a common vision? Because if you talk about an automation example, which is one of my, the last 10, 15 years, I have been into this industry, primarily in this space, across multiple domains, be it healthcare or insurance or banking, whatever be it. The moment people talk about automation, everybody think about job loss and the jobs are being taken. First, it is all about a mindset, right? Because automation is nothing but what people called as operational efficiency in those days. It's just renamed and recoined to the way how technology has been changing in the modern world, right? So it's very important is a mindset, a transformational mindset. You're talking about building skills, flexibility, agility, because along with building this, right, your organizations have to encourage failures along the way, because you're now talking about transcending boundaries. You're talking about redefining rules and innovation at scale. That's why I say how transformations were happening 20, 25 years before, and things in the last 10 years have been, there's a lot of change. And it's also about the culture that the organization supports. When I talk about culture, I'm talking about the top leadership, right, at the the C-suite level, be it the CEOs, CTOs, the CIOs, and now people are talking about CAO, which is called the Chief Automation Officer, right? So a big program or any transformation program for that matter, right, requires leadership support at the top, and how these leaders communicate this change down the chain, explaining the benefits. Because as I keep reiterating again and again, unless you have an organizational alignment, any change program is going to be a disaster. Because there are numerous instances where we have seen change management program have failed either due to poor leadership or poor communication. So right from the leadership at the top to the folks down, all we need to communicate is what is the value that it is going to bring to the table. Typically, I mean, no, it varies by organization. Typically, in no organization in the BPO sector and in the IT sector, we have seen is there will be an all hands meet that typically happens at the the leadership level. But again, before the all hands meet, everybody needs to agree on the change, and there is a lot of scrutiny and process behind it. You start with a business case, you are talking about a financial model supporting it. You need agreement with the the technology leaders. You need agreement with business. You need agreement with operational leaders, because business always talks about how to run the business. They also talk about where the customers are heading towards, where the market is heading towards, and how do we need to pivot. But operational leaders are people who are on the weeds of doing the daily work. So you need, that's why we call it as an all hands meet, right? Because it requires an agreement from everybody to align on the change management product, the change management process itself, right? So now we are talking about leadership level at the C-suite. It is equally applicable to mid-level managers. So post the all hands meet, once the leaders all agree, there is a communication down the chain to the mid-level managers, multiple meetings, and it's the chain of commands that keeps going down, right? Because if you do not adapt to a market and a customer shift, you are not in the game anymore. So we are talking about right investment in the right areas and proper timing. And if you look at today's situation, and compare it again. I keep comparing this to 2025, because who are all the competitors in your space, right? So what is your total addressable market in the space that you are working with your customers. Your addressable market. But now the last 10, 15 years after cloud computing and all these innovation, there's a lot of startup companies. So sometimes you feel like people come from nowhere behind, and then they quickly penetrate into this market in multiple and various dimensions. So again, the point here is more about business, leadership, communication, and chain of commands, and all working towards a common vision and goal. Now, this is from a business leadership standpoint, and a few points from a technology standpoint. We should never look at any transformation program as a simple technology replacement or a tools replacement project. Historically, we have seen some of these projects fail or do not really achieve growth to an extent what the business keeps thinking about, right? So it's a short term benefit, but if you look at a long term benefit of any transformational program, it lies in understanding the end to end business process. So the technology teams have to closely sit and understand with the business team, why are we in this domain and what is the business really trying to achieve for its customer, and then understand every steps in this business workflow to see what the outcome is, and then how and then see how technology is aligned with this business process. So I'm simply talking about business process re-engineering, which is extremely important. Otherwise, it becomes just replacing a product XYZ with ABC. And transformational programs are not really about replacing a product. It is about understanding an end-to-end status and a transformation, right? So once you know the end-to-end process, you know the technology, because technology strategy is always aligned with business strategy. There's nothing called technology strategy on its own. So now you know the end-to-end. Now you know where the customer is heading. Now you know where the market. Now re-engineer the solution and re-architect in a new way. So never use technology for the sake of bringing in a technology. Always look at the big picture and what is the business problem you are trying to solve. So ultimately, no, to answer your question at a very high level, it's all about leadership, communication, culture, business process re-engineering. This is all going to, and then innovation, of course, right, is the final
Right.
step that's going to make it a perfect one.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely right. So you have also summarized that communication, leadership, and change in mindset. All these are very, very important when you are talking about.
absolutely,
Yes,
yes.
thank you.
Yeah.
So now we are moving towards our next question, and this question is for Mr. Sumit. So, Sumit, this, that the tech landscape is constantly evolving. So, how do you stay up to date with the latest data engineering technologies and tools? I'm very sure that many people are, willing to know that, how industry people are keeping up. Yes.
So, first of all, I'd like to thank Dr. Loveleen and complete team of IT CDL for providing this opportunity for me to add some value to this discussion. So, let's jump on to your question. How we keep ourselves up to date with the latest data engineering tools and technology. So, let me break this question into two. First, let's say why it's necessary to keep ourselves up to date. And this reminds me to a very big company in the business of camera photography called Kodak. So Kodak didn't update themselves with ever emerging technology. They didn't update themselves with the ever growing need of the hour. And we all know what happened with the house of card of Kodak. So that's why it's very much necessary and it's very crucial to keep ourselves updated with the coming technology in this particular era. So how we can keep ourselves up to date with, like, every day we hear a lot of technologies, lot of tools coming in this world.
So
Learning
true.
and adapting are the only mantras to keep ourselves up to date. Now, how we can learn, adapt? There are n number of resources in this world. Like, everything is changing. We say that in the world of technology, but not only in the direction of uh, researching, not only in the direction of generating some tools, but the resources to generate these tools, this technology are also growing. We can name, like, online resources and communities are available from where we can learn and enhance our knowledge. We can subscribe to the data engineering blogs, website, and forums. We can participate in relevant online communities. We can follow the thought leaders and experts. We can, like, subscribe and leverage and utilize the courses and tutorials on multiple online learning platforms like EDX, Coursera, Udemy, etc. There are tech conferences and meetups. There are newsletters, podcasts, like LinkedIn, GitHub, n number of platforms we can leverage and we can utilize. There are other platforms also which provide us with the data, free data sets, which we can utilize and leverage to develop various hands-on projects. And that's how, this is the only mantra, like, to keep ourselves up to date with the tech space and the industry.
Right, absolutely. Even I also suggest students that develop a personalized learning plan for yourself, so that will going to incorporate and combine the strategies that will ensure that you are consistently informed and all these data and latest technologies of tools and engineering. Thank you so much, Sumit. Now, Parthaji, I have a question for you. You have implemented data analyst vastly in your areas of operations. So my question will be that how data analytics has helped you in optimizing the regular business processes. So Parthaji, if you can just provide me the insights.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Loveleen. The thing is that data analytics is required in the organization at all levels, and almost every organization in the world today applies data analytics in some form or the other. However, what is happening is that uh, data analytics is primarily used like any other what do you call any other optimization tactics, where business is the driver. The business drives what you really want to do, and the primary focus of all CXOs is to meet the business requirements. Now, in this process, what happens is that there are many processes which are required to optimize, which do not fall into the radar because they are not seen as very important. Now, for data analytics, every organization has a different department, like a data analytics department. However, my point here is that it is not just the responsibility of the data analytics department to analyze data and draw insights from data. It is the responsibility of everyone in the organization to analyze data and draw insights from the data. That is because data is available at every level of any organization. Now, I will try to give two examples to show that this is possible and this is necessary. The first example I draw is from any industry. Now, we know that any industry where IT is implemented, you will have some batch processes. Every organization requires this, no matter what you are, whether you are a retail store or whether you're a factory or whether you're a bank or whether you are anything, you name it. Now, there are some batch processes. Now, the batch processes have certain nature. The nature is that the batch processes run at a lag. They are not real time. They are always running at a lag. Sometimes it is running at a lag of 5 minutes, sometimes at 1 hour, sometimes at 2 hours. It is running at a lag. And second characteristic of a batch process is that they break down. The breakdown can happen because of machines, and they can happen because of human errors also. Now, one of the jobs of IT operations is that to rectify the breakdown and stop the disruption and bring the processes back to the normal healthy state. Now, to do this, what the IT departments do is that they deploy additional resources. They have some standard techniques also, because these techniques are generally got from gut feels. That is from the past experiences. They have got these techniques and they apply those techniques. However, the point is that these techniques to rectify the situation in operations do not have to come from gut feel, because there is so much amount of data available in the system that this data can be leveraged to gain insights into these processes and to predict and prescribe what requires to be done. Okay. Now, take a simple example, like what do you call when a batch process breaks down, we have the historical data regarding what happens when a batch process runs. So this is nothing but a time series data. Now, using this time series data, we can create predictive models, or we can even create prescriptive models, which say that, okay, fine, since this is a breakdown of this nature, you set the parameters at so and so levels, so that the batch process says get back to the normal state in the least amount of time, and this is possible. Further, we can apply operations research, using which we can optimize the resources in such a manner that we achieve our goal at the least amount of cost. So this is an application of data analytics which has to be done at the operations level. Okay, now let's take another example. Now, this is from an IT development scenario. IT development is a cost center. We all know that. In most organizations, okay, there are organizations which develop product where they are the profit centers, but in the industry, generally, IT development is basically a cost center. Now, IT development also has a nature that one of the primary jobs of IT development is to fix bugs. Right? Now, whether it is developing a new product or whether it is maintaining a product, they have to fix bugs. Now, in fixing bugs, what happens is that bugs have a nature. The nature is that bugs have relationship with each other. Now, take an example, what happens in the retail industry. Let's take Amazon. When you open Amazon, Amazon will take you, I believe you should purchase this product. How does Amazon do that? Amazon is predicting your preferences based on your historical transactions. Now, that historical transaction, one of the algorithms available for doing that is something called market basket analysis. Using market basket analysis, Amazon is predicting for you, okay, fine, why don't you purchase this book, or why don't you purchase some copper wires or something like that? Now, this technology of market basket analysis is utilized by all retailers. And like, if supposing I have a physical shop, and I will use market basket analysis to figure out which products go together well, and I will put them in a single shelf. So when a customer goes to that shelf, I have a better chance of him not only buying the product he came for, but also some associated products which are aligned there, so that he has a better chance of getting to look at that. Now, since bugs have a nature, or that there's a relationship between them, we can apply market basket analysis there. In applying market basket analysis, what happens is that I can find out what are the bugs which are related to each other. Now, if a new bug appears in my system, now here again, one point we must notice that almost all IT departments in the world have applied software to track bugs. So there's enormous amount of data regarding bugs available in every IT. So we can use that data to create the models. Once you've created the models, when a new bug comes, I can find out, okay, fine, this bug has come. What are the related bugs to this particular bug? Once I have that history, once I have the prediction given to me, I can create a more comprehensive solution instead of just looking at a local solution. Now, see the benefit here. I am operating at an operational level and solving problems. However, the benefits of this go directly to the business. So it is going directly to the business. So, but these are areas which a CIO or a CDO normally doesn't look at. However, anyway, in conclusion, I want to say that if you are working in an organization, or if you will work in an organization, keep a watch on the data what you're handling. The data what you're handling has got enormous potential. And at every level of the organization, we require to be aware of the data we are handling and utilize the data to make models, predictions, visualizations. And this is what is data analytics.
Absolutely right, Mr. Partha. So to summarize, data analytics empowers businesses to move from reactive approach to proactive. This is what I have concluded from your words, and data-driven approach in optimizing their regular business processes, and even it helps organization in making smarter decisions, increase their efficiency, reducing the cost and overall performance of the operations domain. So definitely your points well taken, sir. So now moving ahead, again, Mr. Santosh, I have a question for you. So this is one question which, I can see that many audiences are also asking a lot of questions. So there is an enthusiasm, okay, which is getting up. So this is one question that with the integration of AI, ML and automation, can you explain how the industry of your choice has benefited with the practical examples, and what are the benefits that you have seen in that particular industry?
Yep.
Mr. Santosh,
So,
this is a question for you.
Yeah. Thank you, Loveleen. You guys are able to hear me, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I carry a huge experience in the healthcare domain. So that would be my area where I will feel very comfortable explaining this, because if you see, many of the BPO industries have really made a lot of improvements in this area, and have really seen the benefits of it. I've been in this industry, in the healthcare for past 15 years. Be it I handle the policy, claims administration system, digital payments, in terms of technology. And if you look from a business standpoint, medical malpractice, people call as a med mal experience. And no, it's a business where you are protecting the doctors, the dentists, healthcare professionals. So they do also take insurance policies. And then you have Medicaid, you have Medicare, then you have private insurance business. So this has been my experience in the last 15 to 20 years, and we have seen a lot of automation and improvements. And I have worked in the 400s, the mainframes, open systems. So I take this as an opportunity, as an industry example. So talking about healthcare insurance, I would like to take an example of a claim system and what happens typically in a BPO industry, right? And it's applicable for all claims. It could be, as I pointed out, healthcare or insurance or a medmal. If you take a life cycle of a claim, you're talking about multiple intake channels, right? It could be a physical channel through which a paper document is coming through. meaning somebody submits a claim form, the paper document has to go through adjudication. It could be, now we are talking about the digital world. So people are sending via emails or via mobile, taking a picture or a digital upload. People upload it into some of these healthcare companies, the website itself. So you're talking about multiple intake channels, and post intake you digitize the data, right? Of course, you need an image to really process through an image processing system. Then document identification. I'm trying to use the industry terms and terminologies as much as possible so that no people get, they are able to know, kind of relate to know as an industry example. So once you digitize, you identify a document, you need to extract information from the document, meaning when you submit a claim, you are going to talk about, okay, I am the named insured, because a claim doesn't exist on its own. It's not an orphan, right? The claim is always associated with a policy. So the policy is where no, you would have paid a premium, you have a named insured, you know who and all is protected under. It could be a vehicle, it could be a it could be a healthcare, it could be any insurance in general, right? And the claim is always adjudicated against the policy, what you had in place, what was effective, what was your liability, what was your per incident coverage, what is your annual coverage. There are a lot of things no that comes into criteria when during the adjudication process. So yes, so the intake, digitization, identification, extraction, rules, claim adjudication, and payments. This is a life cycle of a claim. And you know the typical claim processing, it takes sometimes no weeks to months. And if you see as an end customer, it's delayed payments, right? And there are several policy and underwriting rules which generates kickouts and exceptions, and you still need manual review. So look at this example from a healthcare standpoint, talking about US in particular, given that no, I've been in US for past 15, 20 years. So if you look at the volume that is coming into the system, you're talking about billions of documents and images, because it's not just a claim form alone. You need to provide some supporting documents when talk about this claim reimbursement, right? It's a claim form followed by maybe your doctor visit or what payments you made. So you're talking about a bunch of documents in a claim processing. So look at the volume, look at the SLAs, the service level agreements, because healthcare companies, right? So they need to process this in a very timely manner, because the data has to be ingested into the system. They need a cleaner data. Now you're talking about data analytics. No, everything is so there is always this correlation, right? And that's the story I'm trying to build here, right? So the speed at which the data has to be digitized, you need document identification. So when I'm talking about volumes which are in millions and billions, it is extremely difficult for a human data entry for people to sit and do it, because the speed at which the document comes, the speed at which the data entry is difficult. So you need some kind of automation system to really speed up this so that it can adjust to the incoming volumes. And historically, there were several workflows that would have been built. Again, no, it goes back to my answering my first question, business process reengineering, right? So historically, how things have been, and now how things are changing. So you would have built multiple steps in the workflow due to the nature of the business. And some of this I have seen is also due to technical limitation of the product itself, right? Technology at that point in time when you did the implementation, right? So you might have, as a business process, only 10 steps, as I just told, in a claim processing. But if you see in a technology, it could be 30, 40 different steps that really makes the business achieve the business goal, right? And as technology keeps evolving, you always need to keep running these transformation programs. You need to keep evaluating these latest and greatest products in the industry so that you know where you can make operational efficiency and do a lot of optimization. So what BPO companies are doing in the spectrum, right? Where there is a large volume of document processing is there. They are applying a lot of analytics. They are applying a lot of AI ML algorithms to help them understand inefficiencies and to even help them detect new patterns, right? Because some of the patterns you might know, oh, I know this is the problem, you go and fix it. But it doesn't really solve the end-to-end problem. So, and I keep talking about transformational program, you need to solve the end-to-end business problem. And this is where companies are investing a lot, investing a lot in the space, be it their own R&D team, investing in technologies. When now I'm talking about image processing, so I'm talking about OCR, optical character recognition, ICR, which came later as a image character recognition, primarily due to the limitations of handwritten forms, right? Because the claim form or any insurance, any form that I'm talking about, from where you are extracting the data, it could be typed, it could be a human, no, handwritten as well, and you need to accommodate all the scenarios, right? So applying AI ML techniques and analytics and various algorithms fine-tuned with the data sets that we had, what it helped uncover is identify all these gaps that were available. So why is the industry not able to automate beyond a point? So even with no template based image creation and form creation, everything, they could still not automate beyond 60 to 70%. So when we ran these algorithms, what we are able to uncover, which we couldn't do before, was handwritten volume was around 15 to 20%, which traditional OCR engines do not really do well. So it's completely being sent to a human. So now you're talking about the timelines, right? A huge volume, SLAs to be met timelines, and poor scanning of the images. So if you do a bad scanning, your data is going to overlap on the edges of the image. Now you have a template, you have an image, you superimpose the image over the template, but since the data is hitting the edges and other things, it's going to be a poor data. So noise, bad scanning. So we found a lot of like inefficiencies, and that's where these companies, the BPO companies, or these the new folks who are coming into the market, as I was saying, right? Cloud computing. Earlier, people were not able to kind of try a lot of things, but now with cloud computing, there's a lot of startup companies who are making a lot of coming with innovative products, because it allows them to quickly try, test, and quickly fail, again go back and come back successful, right? So we have seen a lot of changes in this area. So automation of extracting information from these documents has really improved. I would say from 70-75% how it was, as high as around 90 and 90 in the upper 90s. And this is still applicable with structured documents where a lot of improvements happen. And now comes the generative AI, because semi-structured, if you talk about a structured document, I would like to call it, the industry broadly classifies the document into structured, semi-structured, and unstructured. So when you talk about a structured, you're extracting information from a document, but then no, the fields are located in a XYZ coordinate, it becomes easy. You can put a template. But when it comes to semi-structured and unstructured, the the information that you are trying to extract from the document could be located anywhere on the form. So it becomes not an easy solution, direct like a structured. But that's where now generative AI has come in the last 1 year. A lot of POCs folks are conducting. And again, here it's an unsupervised machine learning, primarily with no RNN, ANN, CNN, all these GAN, the generative algorithms. And we have seen that's going to be the next probably next 5 years, 10 years, how things are going to be in the market. So the point here is the industry example of the healthcare, the claims, how automation was before, what products and features and changes are happening in the company, and where is automation heading towards, from RPA to OCR to ICR to generative AI. No, I just covered the spectrum of the changes that are happening. But having said all these, still need a human in the loop, because I'm just going to touch base one more topic, which is very important for people who work in the AI ML world: the bias in the data and ethics. Right? It's extremely important. I'll just give a classic example of a mortgage lending model. If your statistical model shows that no aged individuals have a lesser likelihood of creating a default and reduced lending opportunity based on age, think about the society and legal institutions, right? They will think about this as an age discrimination, right? Because when you talk about these models and algorithms, they are as good as the data. Your data should not be biased, right? Because cleaner the data, removing the bias from this data, outliers, and the human in the loop, All these are extremely important when you talk about ethics, and that's where you see improved results. So human judgment is still needed for AI supported decision to make it fair. And that's where no, it's very difficult to keep one common metrics and standards across the board. You have to look about each and every use case and circumstance to make a proper judgment. So in this context and example, right, I think I covered data, applying analytics, AI, ML, patterns, biasing, governance model. So
Thank you.
back to you,
Thank you,
Lovely.
Mr. Santosh. So we are, left with less time. So quickly coming to, Sumit here. Sumit, just one question, so you can quickly answer, because I can see a lot of questions related to Chat GPT. So I just want to quickly, if you can answer that, how do you foresee the evolution of software development trends like Chat GPT and conversational AI, and what advancement or challenges do you anticipate in this field? So if you can quickly answer this.
Definitely, Loveleen. As our discussion arises near to ChatGPT, I'll tell you one story. There was one data engineer, and he planned to visit some hill station to spend his vacation, and he took his puppy along with him. And there, the puppy fell sick, so he was not having any access to any pet doctor or any clinic or any pharmacy around her. Then he took to the ChatGPT and told ChatGPT all the symptoms of the puppy, age, breed, and everything, and asked him to suggest some home remedy. And you will be surprised that ChatGPT suggested him some home remedy, and he tried the home remedy, and the puppy started showing some success in his health. And after one day, again he took the ChatGPT and told ChatGPT that this much success I got and what else I need to do. And again, ChatGPT came up with some solution, and the puppy was very healthy. And then, like, he found some rashes on the skin of puppy, and again he took the ChatGPT and told ChatGPT that this remedy I tried for these many days, and I found some rashes on the skin of the puppy. And again, ChatGPT told him the solution, and he was very happy. And so I'll answer as Dr. Santosh was saying that whenever it came to automation and discussion of AI, people are afraid that they will be losing jobs and everything. It is not like that. We have to make ChatGPT, or I'll say not only ChatGPT, the Gen AI tools as our co-workers, and we will see miracles in our results. Like if you ask me, like, we all remember one very good example I'll take. COVID. We all were living our life happily until 2019 and 20. Suddenly COVID came into our life. Then it was like a new challenge. All people across the world were afraid, like, how to handle this small virus called COVID. Then they all took to the adaptability. They learned how the virus is behaving, and now we all learn to live with COVID. That's how the Gen AI is. We have to start living with Gen AI. It's already in our life. Now I'll take, like, how the advancements are going to happen in, or what AI is focusing in the coming future. It's like nowadays what we people are doing in ChatGPT. We are just asking the question. It's a text-based tool. Again, some tools are there which by which we can edit the images, by which we can edit the videos and other modalities. So it's a spread environment. So AI is focusing on a, like, common goal or the customized goal, which by which they can design a solution which can be effective in a particular direction, like say data engineering, or in the field of medical domain, in the field of space engineering. Likewise, apart from that, one major challenge the Gen AI or people are facing, like, everyone is not aware about the coding or the coding language. Everyone is not from the IT industries. As I can read from the chats or the comments of the audience, like, if we are not from the IT background, or if we don't know the coding language, how we can leverage these tools. So AI is targeting a no code or low code solution where you need not require to be pro in the coding, or you need not to be from the IT background. Still, you can utilize or leverage these tools. And again, the challenges, uh, if AI is fully grown, what challenge human life will be having in the coming future. is the bias and misinformation, as Dr. Santosh also said about this. I'll take one example about this. Uh, like if AI is having capability to bias or to misinformation already existing information, then if you think about the elections, then everyone or anybody can propaganda or manipulate the results or manipulate the public by just cascading the false information or bias information, and it can result a huge, or it can like impact a huge on people life. And even we can't think how much impact it will cause on the normal life. One major challenge about the data privacy and security, like if Gen AI is fully grown and everything is automated, how to secure our data, how to secure our privacy in this world of Gen AI. Again, developers can diversify their skills both in ethical and to stop unethical ways, like how we can stop this biasing misinformation, how we can prevent our data privacy, how we can secure our data, which is like nowadays everything is on cloud. We are used to of storing all the data on the cloud. So how we can secure that data, how we can design the new tools in an ethical way, how we can collaborate by the society or community by using these tools, how we can customize or achieve a unified goal using these tools and technology. So it's very much necessary to make Gen AI as a co-worker and colleague in the workspace, and we will see a wonderful results, wonderful future coming ahead. Over to you, Dr. Loveleen.
Thank you. Thank you, Sumit. And this is, now we have hardly 10-15 minutes left for this session. So this is one last question, because you all are alumni of IMT CDL. So this is the last question which I want from all the panelists, that how this particular, course of PGDM has helped you in achieving your success. So, each one of you have to, give me the insights and the success story of yours. So Parthaji, there's a question first from your side. Yeah.
Okay. The thing is that, see, I started working in 1989, and I did the program from IMT CDL in 2017 first. Now, 2015 rather, 2017 I completed. Now, I was already a project manager. I was managing various projects and all this kind of stuff, and I was also a business leader by the time. But I didn't have a formal education in management, which I got from IMT CDL, and having a formal education always has benefits, which I always knew but never had the time. And I learned what do you call various aspects which I would not consider, things like economics and things to that. So that's the benefit which I drew from being a student of IMT CDL.
Thank you. Mr. Santosh, same question for you also. Please, can you just throw some insights? Yeah.
Absolutely. I think no, this might be the most easiest question for me to answer if I put it that way. So IMT, the brand name, no, speaks for itself, right? So a very popular, top tier, no B school in the country, expert professors in each and every field, every branch, and there is absolutely no doubt in anybody's mind how it has shaped the life of people who have pursued that curriculum, right? But apart from the curriculum, the education itself, for me, it gave a good sense of how networking with peers, and I just heard before the call, in one of the sessions that was going on, networking with peers, and the professor was talking about it. It's extremely important, and ability to market myself as a reputed person in the industry, and advancing my business leadership skills, and increased confidence in decision making. Because doing an MBA, it is not just about just the academics or securing marks, right? It is a journey that people have to enjoy. Some of the things that I enjoyed here are managerial economics. As no, my fellow mate said, certain things people do not have that background, so it allows you to learn new things. Like for me, it was about managerial economics, finance for a non-finance manager, because I do not come from a finance accounting background, but of course, marketing strategy. The way these subjects were practically taught, it is not just about the academics part of it. It's more about how you should position yourself. It's not about what you know as well. How do you position yourself among your peers and in the industry. That's what it taught me. And as I said, confidence in decision making as well. I thoroughly enjoyed my learning at IMT, and extremely pleased to be part of this alumni network. And I thank IMT once again for inviting me as a speaker to this conference. It has been really a great privilege. Back to you, Lovely. Thank you.
Thank you. Sumit, now your views, please.
So while working in the industry, I found that we all have the practical knowledge, sufficient practical knowledge to jump onto the problems and design the solution. But everywhere we need some theoretical protocols and theoretical knowledge, which we uh, need to have along with the practical solution. So there I found the need to go with the IMT, and there I found like the curriculum was very much industry oriented, and we learned a lot. And as I told, there are only two mantras: learning and adapting to stay up to date in this tech world, ever growing tech world. So this way, IMT helped me very much. And again, it was a very much flexible learning there. Like we need not to take a break from our corporate world, and we could jump onto the curriculum or the video recorded lectures even when we were having our free time. So it was very flexible. We found it like the opportunity as networking opportunity as well. So and it gave me, along with that, it gave me a recognition that now I can proudly say that I am from IMT CDL. So this way it helped me a lot. So thanks to IMT once again.
Thank you so much. In the panel, I can see a lot of questions, people have dropped so many questions. One question particularly I really want to, ask from either Parthaji or Santoshi, you can answer on this, that one person has asked that based on experience of the esteemed panel, how often have they seen non-IT person acceptance in data analytics scientist field? So please, can you just tell your views on that?
Yeah, I was reading this question, Dr. Loveleen. The thing is that, see, non-IT people are very much required in the data analytics field simply because the IT people know the IT world pretty well. Their domain is IT, but they have to solve business problems. Now, the business problems require understanding of the business. Now, the IT people, if you see the nature of them, they will keep hopping from one business domain to another business domain based on the problem which they come across. So they do not have a real chance. They will have schematic knowledge of the business which is involved in the problem which is stated to them. However, the core business knowledge has to come from the business experts. So if I may give a simple example, don't take it egoistically in any way. Take it in a holistic manner. But the thing is that, supposing I have to make a simple system for automating the provident fund management of any private trust or the government. Now, I as an IT person require the knowledge of how to handle provident fund data from the junior most clerk. It is not just the manager. The manager can give me, or the CXO can give me a vision, but I have to understand the process from the junior most clerk if I have to make a good system which will be, sustainable in the future. So what I mean to say is that it is not that the data analytics is the exclusive area for IT people. Another example, if you take a simple example, like everybody handles data. Now, what do I do with data? Everybody knows how to draw graphs. And if I can draw a graph, I should be able to interpret the graph. That is data analytics. Does it answer the question?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
I concur with Partha, Loveleen, because if you go back to my example, I was just explaining the same way, right? It's good if you have both the business knowledge and the technology knowledge, but it's really not a must, as Partha was explaining. And it goes back to my other questions as well, right? Somebody who can explain it from a business standpoint of how this needs to be done, that's their deep domain expertise. And technology doesn't stand on its own, right? Technology is an enabler of what the business wants to achieve. Technology strategy goes with the business strategy. It's good if somebody possesses both business and technology domain knowledge, but as Partha articulated, right? It's not a must, but it really helps. But that's the way, no, you take it. So thank you.
So thank you everyone for the questions. We have noted down all the questions, and definitely we will, send all these questions to our panelists, and I'm very sure that they will going to, help us and provide the answers so that we can circulate among yourself. So now this is a time for the concluding remarks. Okay, so thank you everyone. So as we have come to the end of this insightful journey, so I would like to take a moment to reflect to the key takeaways we have gained during this event. So in today's rapidly evolving business landscape, data has emerged as the driving force behind innovation and growth. We have witnessed how organizations are harnessing the vast amount of information at their disposal to gain valuable insight into consumer behavior, market trends, operational efficiencies. Fine. So the discussions we have had here underscore the critical role that data analytics plays in making informed decisions that steer companies towards success. Throughout this event, we have explored groundbreaking methodologies, cutting-edge technologies, and real-world case studies that exemplify the transformative power of data analytics. From machine learning and AI to predictive modeling, data visualization, it is evident that these tools are not just reshaping industries, but also redefining the way we are approaching towards the problem solving. So, but let's not forget that the great power comes with great responsibility. As we unlock the potential of data, we must also address the ethical consideration, data privacy concern, and the need for transparency. So, striking a balance between innovation and ethics will be a pivotal in maintaining trust and ensuring the sustainable growth of data-driven initiatives. I encourage each one of you to carry forward the insights gained from this event and apply them in your respective fields. Embrace a mindset that champions curiosity and continuous learning for the world of data analytics in a constant state of evolution. Collaboration will be a key as we work together to unravel new opportunities and navigate the challenges that lie ahead. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all our distinguished speakers who shared their expertise, IMT CDL dignitaries, and faculty present over here who made this event possible, and all of you, the participants, for your active engagement. As we conclude this event, let us remember that the journey of unleashing the power of data is ongoing, and our collective efforts will shape the future of business analytics. Thank you and best wishes for your data-driven endeavors ahead. Thank you so much, everyone, and nice meeting you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Loveleen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dr.
Thank you.
Loveleen.